winding up a canyon here.
We are again.
I'm not actually lost. I've been up this canyon before, but
Well,
oh my
I have
heck.
too, but where's the Vaseline
Look,
if you pass a car?
yeah, there's a little narrow,
Just a little bit narrow. It's
We're,
safe.
we're actually not in this canyon with the show. We're just lost in this canyon having some fun.
Yes.
This week's show is on the Rat Fink Reunion.
Oh, it's fun.
It's something very dear to our hearts,
That's right.
since that's where we ran into each other the first time.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Accidentally, as it turns out, I thought I was trying to talk myself into buying a Rat Fink chair, and she thought I was trying to sell her the Rat Fink chair.
I blew him up.
And it's like,
I was like, I don't need a chair.
I don't need a chair, and I was just trying to talk myself into it, and she thought I was trying to sell it to her. Yeah.
It was cool.
It was a cool
I would
chair.
have bought it, but it was the price tag was
No,
a little unsettling. But
Yeah, it was.
Guy.
I wish I'd bought it now, but
I know.
oh
What a picture of
well,
it.
such is life. At any rate, here we are back at this year, the 2017 Rat Fink Reunion. So check this out. So the Rat Fink Reunion takes place in Manti, Utah. You're very familiar.
Yes, I grew up around here.
Yeah. I was down there a lot as a kid, but I can't say I grew up there. But I was sure surprised when Ed Roth decided to move himself to Manti.
That's crazy. I didn't even know it was that Ed Roth. I just heard it was a Roth and didn't know it was that one.
Big Daddy, he moves to Manti. Brings Rat Fink right along with him. Anyway, after he passed away, his wife Eileen has continued having the reunion, which is principally a car show. But this is over at Eileen's house here, and there's a lot going on over there as well. They do car pinstriping, and a lot of artists come in. They do shirts, they do painting on panels, and just all kinds of stuff, all kinds of weird and interesting art for sale. It's a tradition. And this is the infamous mural.
Oh, the official Rat Fink banner.
Yeah, this is kind of what brought us together, because you videotaped the mural, the banner, what is this thing?
Yeah, whatever that is.
The fence, and posted it on your YouTube channel.
Right. I just shot it walking in, and it started getting all these hits. I'm like, what? My channel getting all these hits?
This is an interview I shot with Ed Roth back in 1986 at the GSL car competition before he died. When? In
2001.
Wow.
What are you looking at there, Ed?
Well, I just reminiscing here through some of the old cartoon stuff we came up with. It's funny how the car guys all have their own special brand of humor. Recently we've been trying to animate Rat Fink, and so when Rat Fink talks like a Texan, he's got to say that and talk like the guys do down there, and of course he can't read because no trucker can read, you know. Look at the pictures. He gets a National Geographic. Look at the snakes and stuff. You don't know what they're about. So you have to figure out we're illiterate. They can read Taco Bell and Sonic and watch television, but it sounds funny. But you talk to a lot of people, they can't read, and what do you do about that? They're not supposed to read. You know, they watch television. They get their knowledge from television. So we have to tune our cartoon characters to that. And so the big guys that I walk into the studios, they sit there and they look at me, and I tell them this, and they say, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't have a mouse hit a cat." And I says, if I ever make a cartoon, a mouse is going to hit the cat right in the chops.
Rat Fink was Ed's kind of alter ego, his little creation. It's a long story how he came up with Rat Fink, but he was principally known as a chopper builder and a hot rod builder.
Right, pinstriper.
But somehow he veered off into cartooning, and he came up with this Rat Fink character, and he's probably, I don't know, he's equally well known.
When were you introduced to Rat Fink?
Yeah, when was I introduced to Rat Fink? Probably 1961. I think I actually saw him on Leave It to Beaver.
Oh no, and I was introduced in 1968 by a classmate.
Oh, that's so fun. But the reunion is mostly a car show. Yes, there's pinstriping and Rat Fink and all of these things, but
it's a car show.
It's mostly a car show. Cars come in from all over the place, especially the western states. A lot of people come up from L.A.
That Ford's my favorite. I know the owners of that.
Isn't that a neat one?
Yes, that's Perry's Ford, and I always loved that.
I think Fords have always been my favorite, too. But there's everything here. You name it.
Oh, Studebaker.
I didn't see a Volvo. But
there's an Edsel.
I love
And I know
Edsels.
who owns that Edsel, too, and that's so awesome that they have it.
Isn't that cool? And they're so neat. I mean, in the day, you were an idiot if you loved an Edsel. But these days,
now
it's
they're
like,
cool.
you look back on it and you go, why did people dislike the Edsel? They are just amazing. They're a fun, amazing Ford. But everything's here, at least in terms of American cars, even AMC, but Fords and Chryslers and Chevys, lots and lots of those.
That Coronet looks all original. Check out the paint.
It's just gorgeous. I love to see something that's just been sort of left alone. Well, it hasn't been left alone. I don't know what they're thinking there. Antique cars, a lot of antique car collecting in the Utah Valley, and they love to come up to the Rat Fink Reunion. I think the locals really get a kick out of this. It's a really
They certainly do.
a fun thing to have going on right in your backyard. Remember this? Back in the 70s, I gave up on Fords for a brief period of time. Oh no!
Seriously.
I bought myself a Dodge Challenger 440 Magnum SERT. And boy, I wish I had that car.
Yeah, no kidding.
It looked a lot like this one here.
Oh, wow.
Just pretty cool, except it was the SE edition that had the luggage rack.
Oh, like this one?
This is an SE. Notice it's got the luggage rack.
It's got the luggage
there.
rack.
And
Oh,
it's the same color, that competition orange. This one has the 340. Of course, the one everybody really wanted was the Hemi.
Of course.
Ooh, and look at that, it's back. And some incredibly rare cars.
Look at that
pop up
Cutlass.
here. That is the Cutlass, but it is the what edition?
W31.
The W31. There it is, right there.
Right.
And this is a 427 Galaxy. They made a Galaxy and a Fairlane with the racing engine in it.
Oh, boy.
The 427, and it was an incredibly radical setup. They were just built solely for racing, but you could go down to your Ford dealer and buy one, and they're perfectly street legal, just barely. Look at the induction system here.
Gosh.
This is what it came with, was this dual ram air induction. They'd actually punched out one of the headlights, the high beam light, and that's where it sucks air into that huge air intake. And then they had to put a hickey on the hood to hold that huge ram air system. And fiberglass hood, of course, because of the hickey. This also has the 427, the AC Cobra. Oh my gosh, that one's a reproduction, but you just don't see the real ones around. And this is the Sunbeam Tiger.
Oh, I love a Sunbeam. They're so neat.
They're so cool, but what a weird story. Chrysler got the idea to come up with their version of the Cobra, and so they grabbed a Sunbeam and they stuffed a Chrysler engine in it, and it didn't work at all, and it crushed the car. So they talked to Carroll Shelby, and he shoved a small block Ford in the car, and you bought it at a Chrysler dealership. Go figure.
Oh, what a strange marriage.
But what a neat car.
Yes.
Speaking of neat cars, Mustangs.
Of course.
Our favorite car of all times. We just love ourselves a Mustang. There's a beautiful ride right there.
Wow.
That's neat. But this one really caught my attention. A 69 with a completely modern drivetrain
Isn't
in
that something?
it. It's a convertible, but it's a totally modern 5-liter engine. Totally modern drivetrain in this car. Lead sleds. Gotta love yourself a custom lead sled.
Oh, a 49 Ford.
Ooh, I love 49 Fords. And that is a beautiful one. Kind of lightly customized.
Just a little bit.
Just nice. Still looks like a 49. Very recognizable, beautifully done. Just a little bit of customizing to turn that into a lowrider. Mm-hmm. Nice. And
whatever that is.
What is that? It's a
97.
It's a Chevy, and that's a beautiful ride there. I love what they've done with the headlights.
Good doggy.
Mostly, what's here would be called what? A hot rod.
A hot rod.
A hot rod.
Definitely.
It was just a generic term for a souped-up car. Mm-hmm. It kind of seems like after World War II, a lot of the young people couldn't get a new car, and there weren't a lot of used cars around because of the war. So they went to the junkyard, grabbed parts, and just cobbled something together.
Indeed.
And made it go really, 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 really fast. And then they just had a lot of fun with them, and it's generated into an entire American tradition, the hot rod.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, that looks like a 36 Pontiac.
Just gorgeous.
Oh, look what they've done.
Oh, I love that. That is really cool. The key with the hot rod is be creative and make it your own car.
Exactly. Signature look.
Yeah, make it something you want to drive.
Oh, that's what's fun.
That's just cool. Some of them are built out of 32 Fords. That's the Deuce Coupe, but they can be built out of just about anything.
Yep, they
This
certainly
is
can.
a real tradition.
Oh my!
The T-bucket hot rod. You take an old Model T Roadster and you just use the body and throw a lot of things away. Guys are using Model A frames, T bodies, Chevy engines, totally cobbled together, and it became the T-bucket. And they pop up at all kinds of car shows, and I just love T-bucket hot rods.
They're just fun.
Oh, I can't even imagine how fun it would be to drive one. Never
I
have.
would love to.
Never have. And that monster is a 572 Chevy engine shoved in that little tiny car.
Try to keep that on the road.
Oh, good grief. You gotta love hot rods. Okay, check this out. It's actually a totally modern car. This guy here cobbled it together so he could just go out and travel around all summer long. He's got his travel trailer behind it, but it's actually all modern, brand new car. Very reliable, and he can drive it around all summer long. But that's hot rodders for you. They just build things, whatever they want. Ed Roth used to build a lot of choppers.
Yes, he did.
Get a Harley and build a chopper, but his big creation was the V8 trike. A tricycle, motorcycle with a V8 engine in it.
But what I can remember is that when I broke into the three-wheelers, I was riding the freeway one day, and I thought I was really going fast, and up comes a 67 Mustang right beside me, and he looks at my bike, and he steps on the accelerator and makes it out of there. And I thought, this is the end for me of this kind of slow stuff. I'm going to build me something really hot and fast. So I went home and got me a 65 Mustang, took the engine and transmission out, made a narrow rear end, put a Harley fork on it, and I drove it around, and that was a hot machine. But none of the magazine guys would ever do anything with pictures. They wouldn't even take pictures. They never even talked about them. And today, when there's a lot of these trick bikes around, you never see them in a magazine because they just don't want to talk about them. I don't know what it is. I think that they can't make up their mind if it's a bike or a car or what it is. But they wouldn't allow me into the Street Rod Nationals when I went to St. Paul last year. So we have a long fight with this three-wheeler thing. But I enjoy it so much. I don't care if they never publish a picture of it or make a model or anything.
And speaking of V8 trikes, and speaking of 572 big blocks, this guy shoved a Chevy 572 into a trike.
Oh my.
You got to be a little bit nuts to climb on that thing and just fire it up and go down the road.
He's doing okay.
He's doing okay. A couple of years ago, he did lay this thing down, and it was pretty spectacular. A lot of damage to both him and the motorcycle. And the newest thing showing up at the car shows, the rat rods. Actually not named at all for Rat Fink. The idea was that it's just a ratty hot rod, but somehow they seem like something Rat Fink would build, don't they?
They sure do.
I mean, it's said that he lived in a junkyard.
It's what he did. He put things together and made them go.
Yeah, and so while Ed Roth certainly never built one, and they're not really associated with Rat Fink, and that's not what the rat stands for in Rat Rod, you got to look at this and go, that's exactly what Rat Fink would have built.
Exactly. He would have built that.
He would have built that, and he'd have driven it around, then he'd gotten tired of it and built another one.
Right.
Because that's Rat Fink.
It's also fun.
But these cars are just really, really neat. And the more they look like a true junkyard dog, the happier everybody is with them. A lot of this rust isn't rust at all. It's painted rust so that you have the good integrity of the metal. Some of it is actual rust.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. But a lot of it's just painted to look like a rusty car. And then just start throwing stuff at it until you're happy with it.
Use your imagination.
And then use your imagination. Yeah, and then change it and put some more stuff on it. Or,
steampunk and stuff.
It's kind of like steampunk. It's just, but it's so creative. It's so wonderful. And it's a kind of a whole new thing that's popping up all over the place. Rat rods. Just really cool. And this thing is a V8 shoved into a wheelbarrow?
Yeah, check out the window cranks.
I love it. I think, all things considered, I mean, yeah, this is maybe my favorite car at the whole car show. It's just such a goofy contrivance. I just fell in love with it.
And it has a bucket seat.
It has a bucket seat, weight of a real bucket. And this, you might call it a rat rod, but it's not ratty.
No, in fact, I quite like it.
It's beautiful. It's just really beautifully done. But you don't have to make things fall into a category.
No.
The idea is to do something creative and fun.
Make it unique and yours.
Make it yours. Well, there you go. Another Rat Fink.
Another Rat Fink Reunion.
That was fun.
I know, it's always fun down there. I've been going there for years.
Yeah, I thought we were going to miss it this year just because the schedule was such and we were going to be in Santa Cruz, and then suddenly we had to come back to meet a plumber or something. I can't remember.
It was something.
Carpet layer, I don't remember, but we had to tear back to Salt Lake, and then when we got back, it's like, well, tomorrow's the Rat Fink Reunion. I guess we might as well go to the Rat Fink Reunion. So then we
drive south to hang.
Tore back out of town, went to the Rat Fink Reunion. But it was great. It's always fun to go to. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there's your house.
That's that house. I almost bought that house years ago. $1,200.
Wow.
I passed on it because it was falling down. But it's still the same house. It didn't fall down then. $1,200 for a house.
That sounds like my $5,000 building lot.
Anyway, I digress. That was the Rat Fink Reunion, and it was sure a lot of fun.
Yes.
If you guys haven't been over to the channel, do pop on over to the channel, and you want to subscribe while you're over at the channel because subscription is cool. And the people who subscribe are therefore cool.
That's right.
Of course, it doesn't cost anything. It's not it just means that we notify you when we upload a movie, or more specifically, Google notifies you when we upload a movie. Some robot somewhere does that. I don't know. I haven't met the robot yet.
Something wound up.
Could be, I don't know, spring wound robot. At any rate, you get notified whenever we upload a movie, and that's all that happens with the subscription, other than the fact that it's just cool, and you can tell people that you're a subscriber and everything. You can say, I clicked on the infamous blue button.
Yes.
And the blue button that we're talking about is the one that's about to pop in right now. Zoink! You see the blue button right here? It says subscribe. If you are not a subscriber, click on that and you will be a subscriber. So that will make you cool. Well, we're not sure how you found this movie on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring. And we will see you here again in 1 week with some more massive screwing around. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.